up to the fastest speed, so let me just deal with my... actually, why am I going to change all that? I can just change the colour, can't I? Nah, screw it. ISL2... Oh god, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'll call out first. In the top of the map, the top right hand corner pretty much, I guess, is Mr. ISL2-TTF. And in the bottom left hand corner there is ISL2-Ruarc spawning as the grey Zerg. So let me do the overlays just for 1 second. Oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Hold the phone. I've made more of a mess than ever of my overlays. I mean, I'm not good at them, but this is a whole new level. There's grey. Where are you, grey? I can't find grey. You can have white. I don't think there is grey. And TTF has red. There is the fellow. You can have white rating for him. Okay, wow, what a cock up. In we go. In we go. TTF, again, not doing anything particularly crazy. Ruarc, not doing anything particularly crazy yet. But it is early days for this match. I have to eat my words after the last game when I said nothing crazy was going to go on. Plenty of crazy stuff was going to go on. Weird little build going down from Ruarc, and it really managed to throw TTF off. Still managing to defend that bunker rush. And I think it was the fault of TTF's execution as much as it was Ruarc's strong defense. But not to take away from the guy. He defended better than TTF attacked, thus he wins the game. That is just the way of things. TTF very smartly turning around as soon as he sees this Overlord, gambling at full pace to scout bottom right hand corner, and that Overlord should probably be turning around right now and heading off up here, but it's not. And we do see the hatchery being laid down on 12 for Mr. Ruarc. Much earlier gas this time from TTF, so we could be seeing some kind of mechanized build right from the off here. Pretty big deviation from last time. I guess he's been really put off that style after last game, trying to catch Ruarc a little bit off guard. But I also seem to remember something about mech being pretty strong on this map. But I'm not a big map balance whiz, so I'm not really quite sure about that. But I do remember someone saying something of the kind. The SCV is now in the Zerg space, and he sees that this time there is no weird stuff going on. There is no extra hatchery, standard gas timing, standard pool timing, everything just as it should be. So, standard versus standard, I suppose mech is a pretty standard build, and indeed we do see the factory going down completely predictably after this early gas, but it is being scouted just somewhat late by Ruarc. He's going to be feeling slightly discombobulated when he sees this, but I'm sure his build will take into account such things as mech. Mech is nothing new after all, not to us anyway. Just having a hack at that spawning pool there. Spawning pool's feeling the hurt. I actually lost a pylon once to a scouting SCV. It wasn't funny. I still won though, so I guess that makes me uber ghosted. We see 2-fac going down for TTF pretty early, so we're not going to see any kind of crazy fast science vessel rush stuff like that. We're going to see 2 factory pressure against Mr. Zerg. Ruarc still hasn't scouted TTF, so very, very late to spot what's going on. Drone doing a bit of a crazy scouting pattern there. Not quite sure what its job was. Now that's a standard timing for Lair in ZVT, so it looks like Ruarc's going to play this one much more standard. The SCV does get in and see it, but nothing out of the ordinary as of yet. I guess we could still see lurkers, but pretty early to tell. I guess we'll be seeing the Hydralisk could then have gone down by now, and we have not, so that's alright. Unless, no, that's a creep colony. Good. So I was not wrong. I hate being wrong. And the first Vulture is out, so that's going to be heading out across. And this Zergling is going to spot it immediately and hold positioned. That Zergling. So before the Overlord even gets there, TTF manages to come out with the first gambit of his strategy. So that Scouting Overlord is basically a useless bastard jellyfish man floating over the back of the Natural. This Sunken's up well in time. Perfectly good Sunken timing from Ruarc. Knowing that he didn't have a clue what was going on, this Vulture is going to be turned away very easily, losing a whole bunch of health there. Sunkens really are pretty mean against Vultures, especially, or against anything, but really against Vultures. A bunch of Zerglings going out, seeing if they can have a look for that Vulture, but they're going to be unable to clean it up, as it retreats quite smartly, and good on it indeed. So, what are you doing here? Going to lay down an expansion, I think? perhaps, or maybe those are just for repairing. Maybe he's going to mount some sort of crazy vulture push, but actually retreating all the way back into his base, I think that's an error. They were supposed to go down the ramp, but the ramp was blocked. Yes, they are for repairing. No expansion quite yet from TTF. But he really needs to get something going to defend against these Mythos. He is getting an engineering bay. We don't see an armory quite yet. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Valkyries. Also pretty sure it's not going to be Goliaths, although I would imagine he'll produce Goliaths at some point. But I really don't know. I mean, maybe he just loves missile turrets, I'm not sure. Slightly unconventional, no armory yet, but that's alright because Goliaths are really quite bad against Mythos anyway. So now we do actually see a Hydralisk den already, so I expect that Lurker upgrade will be relatively early, or maybe that's just to safeguard himself against the Vultures. A lot of Vultures darting in here, but this is going to be blocked out of the Zerg base, and he might lose all of them here in this really, really ill-fated attack. Oh, the Vultures dying for only the price of about 2 drones. Depressing times to be a Vulture, and TTF GG's out right there. His strategy completely called by Ruarc, and Ruarc goes through to the next round, 2-0ing TTF out of the competition.